last year when we talked in our spring preview, you were getting ready to head into your first year as Raiders head coach. And how is it different for you this time around getting ready for spring practice?
Well, obviously the biggest thing is knowing the kids. Wasn't even sure who was playing what at that time. We're a long way down that road now. Some kids really stepped up, worked hard in the off season. Real excited about where we're going right now. Just a lot of motivation, a lot of determination, a lot of effort, and a lot of want to.
How many guys do you expect to have back this year?
Well, we're only probably going to graduate a couple on each side of the ball. We were real young last year. We had 6 seniors that actually played a lot. Probably at some point in time 16 different sophomores that started at, well, 16 different positions sophomores started, maybe not all in the same game. So we have a lot of guys with a lot of playing time, which is going to be huge. So that and alone is going to make a big difference.
Practice, I guess camp will open for you first week in May?
We start May the 7th with our varsity, and JV will 10 days, obviously, the state requires and or allows, and we'll use every minute of it. We've got a couple guys we might miss. We've got our baseball team that is doing well, probably in the playoffs. Our track team, we got a bunch of guys that have qualified for state, so we'll be missing some of those, but we kind of know what they can do anyway, so it's not like that we have to have them there, because we get a chance to work on a lot of younger ones and get those folks ready.
How quickly will the younger players that are just coming to the high school level get to practice with the other members of the team?
Well, all the ninth graders, the rising ninth graders, will be sophomores. They'll be in our practice. We divide our team up into JV and varsity for spring so we can get more reps. Rather than have them all on one side of the ball, we do 2 at the same time, and we can get more reps. With only 10 days, you're really limited on, and really 9 days if you have a scrimmage, that you actually get practice time. So it'll be important that we get as much contact hours with each kid as we can.
Scrimmage date for you?
Yeah, it's going to be the 18th. I think we've set it for 6:30 in the evening. We're going to do it a little different this year. In the past, we played ones versus the best of the rest and so on down the line until we played the third teamers. This year, we're going to draft teams, draft coaches, and have a black and silver game and make it competitive and see what happens. They can maybe have a little fun out there at the same time after all the hard work they've been doing. They've been working really hard in the off season, and it's kind of hard to keep motivated sometimes because it just seems like a long time for the end of the tunnel. They've been anxious to put on the gear again, so we're, it's been since November, so they're pretty excited about these 10 days. It'll be exciting.
Well, good. Looking ahead towards the fall, around the state, some shuffling with the regions and the alignments. Tell us about the region this year.
It's going to be interesting. We're going to be playing all the county schools. In fact, Central is going to play us. We'll play them opening game, which everybody, I'm new here, but I can sense the rivalry already from both schools. It's a long-standing tradition they've played for many, many years, and I think Central won the last couple, so it'll be a great contest and start that rivalry back over again. By adding a couple schools, we took a couple schools out, but our region is going to be real comfortable as far as we don't have a lot of travel distance, and teams that we're familiar with that we know, and of course all of our county school teams. It'll be great to get back in that.
For people that are watching for the first time or maybe new to the community, kind of tell us about the Raider the team as far as your offense and defense. What's some of your base?
Well, we're based out of a wing tee, but we're very multiple, and by multiple, 1 year I remember running this offense and we had 2,000 yards passing. So it's really, a lot of people think it's just a running game, or running offense, but it's really according to what our talent dictates. If we have a quarterback that can throw it, we're going to throw it. If we have a bunch of runners that can run it, we're going to run it. And hopefully we have at least one of those so we can have success. And so that's a big thing. Defensively, we run a 4-2-5, an even front defense. It's multiple as well. We adjust and adapt to our opponents and what we see. You see so much more throwing these days that you have to do a little more adaptation than what you might want to. From we're pretty much a run stopping type defense, so we've had to make some adaptations, and the kids have done well with that. We're excited about, because we do have so many kids coming back, we're real excited about the potential that's there, because they're all excited. The freshmen had the best season in the history of the school last year. The sophomore class, which will be juniors, had the best season before they came along. So we've got 2 classes that have had a lot of wins and a lot of excitement. And then the senior class this year has been just dedicated, hardworking, leadership, just doing all the things right they need to, and looking forward to help them have a great senior year. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Coach, is there anything I haven't asked you as far as our preview of spring practice?
I guess the biggest thing that this is such a great community, and we're excited about the chances of having a better season, so we can get that community, excited and proud of what these kids do. Anybody that's familiar with high school football knows how hard they have to work nowadays to compete, and the stuff in the summer, the stuff in the off season. It's a lot of work for these young men to go through, and hopefully they'll have a great season this year and be something to look back on. All the hard work's worth it. That's the main thing. I want it to be enjoyable, but make sure that they can look back and say, you know what, Coach was right, all that hard work paid off, and here we are.